This is a second response to Aussie GP11, and this is what I was talking about. First of all, this would be a multi-year project. This would not happen overnight. So for you people who think that what I was talking about in my original video would happen overnight, won't. Okay. Secondly, we would start by picking key areas that flood most often. Take, for instance, the Mississippi River. This is a representation of the Mississippi River. I know that doesn't look exactly like the Mississippi River, but let's just say it is, okay? You have the little town here of St. Louis. Alright? Now, we know this place often floods. Take a look at your history. That'll tell you it often floods. So, what we do is we build short pipes, not massive cross the country type things. Okay, we build short pipes. Now eventually it would become massive pipes as the money became available. We build short pipes in the beginning, and instead of the water going straight down here and crashing through residential areas and wrecking the economies down here and here and here, we just have tons of flooding, which we don't need. We actually have areas that wouldn't be getting as much water, so we would have these short pipes diverting the water to areas that weren't getting as much rain. And then we'd use their sewer system and their water treatment plants to process that water, and then it would be shipped either to farmers or to citizens that want to drink it. Okay? Now, the only time we would charge for something like this is when there was an actual flood. So, in other words, they wouldn't be charged for these pipes all the time. It would only be during a flood situation. Okay? And companies could chip in on something like this. You know, this could be a private industry type thing where they chip in and they build the smaller pipe. Well, shorter. They'd be big pipes, but they'd be short. They'd only travel a certain distance, and then they'd stop. Okay. Once these pipes were paid for, then any excess money would go in to extend the pipes further out. Thus, more flood waters would go away from the flood areas and to other areas. Okay. Eventually, a pipeline network would eventually form, and then we wouldn't have any flooding anywhere anymore. You know, you would take it a little further west, a little further west. The west seems to be the area that really needs the water the most. So over a period of several years, the pipes would get longer and longer and longer until they reached the areas that weren't getting as much water. And thus, a flooding rain wouldn't destroy a whole bunch of stuff. It would just get diverted to another location. And the only time that people would be charged extra is when the water was happening to be diverted. Any other time, the pipes wouldn't be used, and they just sat idle. Okay, so the pipes wouldn't be used all the time, just during flooding situations. And like I said, companies could invest some money into this. It would be a multi-year project, and after a while, it would finally get to where it needed to go, and then our crops would be saved. Okay? And the same is true down in Louisiana. You would have the flooding waters, especially like with Hurricane Katrina, and what you'd do is you'd have those pipes and they'd move the water up and up and up and away from the area, and eventually the water would get to places that it really is necessary, and hopefully stop our drought situations. That's what I have in mind. Okay? This would not be solved all at once. Again, like I said, this would be a multi-year project. So hopefully you understand. The pipes would be big, but they'd be short. And they would just get a little bit bigger each and every year that it was affordable. And they would only be implemented if the flooding was occurring and they had to actually be used. Otherwise, they wouldn't be. Alright, so hopefully that answered your question. If you have any further questions, leave them in the comments down here below. I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.